I was raised by a single mom. I grew up in New York City. My mom had me at 41, and my dad was gone before I even turned 4. And my mom came to America from Europe, and all of her family was lost in the war, so we didn't have any relatives. And I can tell you that being cared for as a child was the #1 thing. And I was never in a child care program. I never had an after-school program, and in some ways I guess it's good, because I used to go to all her community meetings in Harlem, and I had a great, I got to work for Shirley Chisholm. I've had a great life. I ran for office, and so it was good, but I know how much she struggled, and I know how difficult it was, because I was constantly in different people's care, and she was always trying to pull things together. And then lo and behold, as much as I wish my mom hadn't waited till she was 41 to have me, I had a kid at 51 with a lesbian friend of mine here in San Francisco. And guess what? Like I said, I didn't really have any family assets. I'd never changed a diaper. I didn't really know the things that you're supposed to do. And, we'd go to some of these parenting classes, and they were very alienating to me, because, she's a dyke, I'm a queer, we're just sitting at this thing, and it just didn't work, So I didn't really do real well at the classes. And so, lo and behold, there we are at 6 months, and we're at City Hall Child Care. And I met Dolores, and she's a Filipina grandmother, and she was so important to me. I can't communicate. Like, I wrote about her, if you look at my campaign website, and then Yolanda and Dorothy when she was a toddler. And those are the women that taught me how to parent. And it's more than just caring for kids during hours. It's imparting skills. It's being there as a sounding board when your child is going in a direction or something's happening that you don't fully understand. And so I just want to say that I am not an advocate. I am a warrior for child care. And I was so pleased to meet... So Joe is still here, and I said, Joe, you're going to listen to what I said, you're going to have some interest. Joe is with C5, which I've always heard great things around at the State Building. But many of you have seen this gorgeous green building that is going up to be the new SFPUC headquarters, a block away from City Hall. And the building wasn't going to happen, and God bless Barack Obama, the stimulus plan put money into it. But my dear friend Susan Leal, who's the general manager of the SFPUC, had put in place a Reggio Child Care Center, right? The gold standard of what you would want to engage and to activate and to stimulate these young minds to learn. And it was then, the building wasn't going to happen. Well, she was gone. And so then new leadership comes in, and they get the money for the building. And guess what? They had a cost-cutting exercise, and they took the child care out of the building. Well, I am not a queen to be messed with. So I learned, people knew how to come to me and just kind of put a buzz in my ear. And then we had a hearing, and people were embarrassed and scrambling. And these are people of good intent. These are not, Rick Santorums or any of these whack jobs. These are people of good intent, but somehow they could rationalize taking child care out of a city building. And there is no rational excuse for it. And so I was not invited to the groundbreaking of the building, but I hope you'll invite me to come and join you when you get the first families. They were mad. They were not happy with me. And I'll tell you that I'm on a warpath right now with the Trans Bay Terminal Project. They do not have child care planned for that. And it is an embarrassment that they're going to build a world-class community with 21st century high-speed rail. And the executive director, and I'm sorry to say, also a single mom like my mom was, said to me that she was worried that this would be a site of a terrorist threat. And I said, this is ridiculous. I take my kid every day to City Hall. That's a great place to blow up if you're going to blow someplace up, Like, this is ridiculous how people make these excuses. And I just want to say to you that I really think that it has come to the point where only 50% of the families in San Francisco have access to licensed child care. That is a bigger marker than public schools. I don't care how much people grouse about, their assignment, and God bless, the letters just went out this weekend, so I know all the drama, I was there, and you know, but there just isn't an excuse, and there is not an excuse that we're not advancing these incredible individuals that dedicate their lives. I just went to Compass a few days ago in the Tenderloin, and it is a hard-scrabble neighborhood. I mean, my job, I said I didn't want to be, thank you, Melissa, Director of Homelessness, because it sounded like I lost already. I'm Director of Hope. It's about housing opportunity, it's about partnerships, it's about engagement, and it's about going in and seeing kids who come out of a very violent, troubled neighborhood. Many kids that are coming out of households that have different levels of violence in those households, and having that sanctuary in a well-run, well-supported child care institution is the most important thing that we can possibly do. So I want to say my great colleague Michelle Rutherford, who is a real hero to me for the city and county of San Francisco because of the great work. And I passed a law in my last year on the board because there were 3 affordable family developments that were built mostly in South of Market. Not one of them had child care associated with it. And so I sponsored legislation. It was a little complicated, but it said anytime the city is part of developing more than 50,000 square feet, there has to be a child care feasibility study done. There has to be a piece of paper that hopefully many of you in this room can get your hands on and use that to bludgeon these people to do the right thing. And I want to credit that I call that the Mardi Law. That's Mardi Lucid. You all know, if you know Mardi, you know she about took me down if I didn't get this thing passed. And so I'm really here pleased to be with you. No matter what steps I'm taking, I'm very public and personal about what child care means for individuals and families, what a debt we owe to the people that provide this care, and that the economics of it don't work out. They just don't. Unless you can provide free land, free space, it just doesn't pencil out, and that's just not right. And I think that, you know, working with the Child Care Law Center, we do the fight in Sacramento. And sadly, even in this progressive city that we live in, we have a lot to fight here in San Francisco. So let's make it happen, okay? Thanks so much.